Hello everyone, I'm Radhakrishna. Now I'm going to talk about web scraping report. We are a team of 6 members. So coming to the abstract, web scraping is also known as data mining, which is a process of collecting large amounts of data from the web and then placing it in a databases for future analysis and later use. And it also offers the insight in price data, market dynamics, and prevailing trends practices which are employed by competitors and challenges they face. So in this report, we will explain the advantage of a web scraping technique, and also this research is based on two web-based Python scraping tool, and the main focus is on Selenium and Beautiful Soap to scrape COVID-19 data. Coming to the introduction, so we all know that internet is a bottomless well of knowledge and that is open to everyone. So because of this latest technological developments, we had to rethink our company practices. Data crawling, online scraping, and data harvesting have been around for as long as the internet itself has been around. However, at the beginning, it wasn't always used for the web content extraction. So it is also possible to think of online scraping as a process of obtaining or extracting content from a website. In web scraping, content is taken from online sources and is used in a particular manner. So, what is web scraping? Web scraping is a technique used to collect content and data from the internet uh, through multiple surveys and else. While web scraping can be done manually by a software user, the term typically refers to automated processes implemented using a bot or web crawlers. It is used in a variety of digital businesses that rely on data harvesting. The data obtained is mostly unstructured and converted to structured data with the help of data engineers. And it is a form of copying in which specific data is gathered and copied from the web, typically into a central local database or spreadsheet for later retrieval or analysis. So, Beautiful Soap. Beautiful Soap is a Python library for pulling data from HTML and XML files. It takes a long-winded HTML page and turns it into a Python object tree. In addition, in addition to that, the page is immediately converted to Unicode, saving your time and hassle of worrying about encodings. You can also use this tool to not only scrape data but also clean it up. A number of Python parsers, including LXML and HML file library, are supported by Beautiful Soup. In addition to the HTML parser included in Python standard library. Next, Selenium. Um, like Beautiful Soup, Selenium is a web application testing framework that may be used on any platform. It operates on Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and is open source software provided under Apache license to point of Selenium. Despite its primary function is also used for web scraping. So WebDriver, one of the Selenium's most powerful web scraping components, will be emphasis of this article rather than the rest of the framework. In order to write and run tests, we can use Selenium WebDriver's programming interface to control a web browser. Scraping data from websites will be our primary use of this tool. When when a website uses JavaScript to produce content, Selenium is an useful tool. The dynamic nature of these websites renders Scrapy's web scraping capabilities completely worthless. In this article, I hope to introduce you to Selenium and demonstrate some of the fundamental web scraping techniques. So let's see how a web scrape works. To test web applications, you can use Selenium, Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, and all of these can use this Apache license, a 2.0 licensed open source application. Selenium is also used for web scraping. Despite its primary function, we will dive into Selenium's components, therefore focusing on WebDriver, a component that's useful for web scraping. Selenium WebDriver gives us command over a web browser via a programming interface, allowing us to write and run tests. scraping data from websites is what we will be doing with it in our case. Websites that use JavaScripts to display content can be benefit from Selenium. With such dynamic websites, Scrappy, a well-known web scraping framework, is rendered ineffective. The purpose of this tutorial is to introduce to Selenium and demonstrate how to scrape the web using Selenium. So this is a architecture of a web scraper, and these are the websites which we use to pull data from, and this is web scraping tool, and these are structured data in database or XML files, CSV files, JSON files. It depends on which OS are you using. Okay, this is a basic diagram of how importing data from websites works. These are typical websites we use, and scraping script we run here, and which is forwarded to database and files. And this is a basic code of explaining how scraping works. So coming to the conclusion, as a result of this, of the internet's availability, information seeking activities grew common and time consuming, making them among of the most prevalent and time consuming activities. For the first time, we will be able to acquire large amounts of data without putting in a lot of effort or money. With web scraping, businesses may gain insight in their target market and make better decisions, whether they're in e-commerce or e-marketing. Thank you. And the coding part here will be explained by one of my friends, one of my teammates. Thank you.
Hello, Professor. My name is Shrikanya Purmo. Here I'm going to explain about the data of COVID-19 in detail using the Jupyter notebook. So here we are using the beautiful SOAP Python library concept. So Beautiful SOAP is a Python library used for pulling data in the form of HTML or XML format. It basically saves the programmers time and power. Here the common is to extract data from the URL. So these are the Python libraries which we are which we are imported. So as we are using the Beautiful SOAP library, Python library concept, so we are imported Beautiful SOAP library using BS4 import Beautiful SOAP. And also we are using the plotting library. We are imported matplotlib.pyplot as a plot. So to show the visualization of coronavirus COVID-19 cases and the countries. So here we are using coronavirus, this URL, which we are taken from the other resources. So to convert the URL to the HTML, so here we imported this URL in the page, and here to convert the URL to HTML, so we are using the Beautiful SOAP concept. So here we are using data iteration. So data iteration is used to retain data or elements at the same time. So here we are using try exception method. This loop will repeat until the data is available. So it is the iteration thing. Here this output shows all the results of the countries and the cases and the deaths and what region that the country belongs to. So here we are imported covid.csv file. This data is imported to dataset. These are all the data. It has 226 rows and 4 columns. So here we have used a shape method to define the rows and the columns of data set which we taken. So as this is a large data set, so here we use the tailed method to show to show the end of the file. So here 2176,129 are the cases which were infected with corona COVID-19 cases. This is the mean value according to the data set which we have taken, and 27328 is the mean death value. So here we have used SNS, means seaborne. So here we are using cases and deaths to show the regression plot. Here we are representing the x-axis with the cases and the y-axis with the deaths. And here we also used a linear plotting method to show the cases and the deaths affected by the coronavirus. So according to the countries, also we have used data sets, countries. So these are, we have, as this is a large data set, so we divided the data set into some regions, so to show the data sets. And we have also used the pie chart visualization to show the cases that was affected in a particular country. Thank you.